Alrighty, mic check, mic check. G'day, Stu from UAVFutures. Welcome to Happy Flying, our weekly live stream. What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, we do this every single week. We're going to be talking all things drones, but let's go through, just check the recordings, check the stream is working, see who is here, because we have some really cool tech to talk about today. If you like drones, if you like new technology, you are in the correct place. Let's see, we can see Chris Croft, Johnny DRC. We got Shoot FPV here as well. Handy Racer, like so many members here in the chat. Thank you to every single person who does support the channel. That makes a huge difference. And without this, I couldn't do these streams and continue to share the message of FPV. And look, this is the best part of my working week. We say it every single time. This is my chance to connect with you guys, talk drones, talk shop, and generally just have a good time. I can see some people saying time travel is real. It is 10 a.m. here, Monday morning for me. Let me know what the time is where you are watching, because yeah, like I said, we got some really, really cool things to talk about. Coming up on today's stream, and you'll have to excuse me, it feels like I'm about to melt here. I'm sure that a lot of you viewers, it's freezing and snowing outside where I live in southeast Queensland in Australia. It's like melting. Everyone is melting. The air cons have been pumping, but I got it turned off because it's like right there. It will just mess up with the microphone. Anyway, we're going to be talking about you guys because you're important. We need to talk about this special craft right here. Thank you very much. I can see we've got Turtler Racing. Is that how you would pronounce that? Rory, thank you very much. But coming up in today's stream, where we need to talk about the ArtLink or Artisan Link, however you want to mention it, whatever you want to talk about. Inside here, inside BetaFPV's new little Binafly, the Aquilla 20 HD. This has blown me away. Like, I'm so excited to talk about this and what that means for cheap FPV. We are going to be talking about the Cadex Ascent system, which would be its biggest competitor. And these systems look like they're starting to break out because we have some new details. We're going to be talking about, I got a bit of a spicy email, but it didn't say I couldn't talk about it. So there we go. With some details about the VRXs, which means now you don't need to buy the Ascent goggles just to get into the Ascent ecosystem. You can put a VRX on the front and plug them into your existing box goggles or whatever. You might have the hdzero Box Pros, or you might have some Sky Zones, whatever it is. You can now use the goggles that you've got and just put a different receiver on the front to get those images. So that's some very exciting things. We'll probably talk a little bit about DJI being banned, which is in like 2 days time as well. The Wisp 65, a little drone. I've got this here, but I'll probably forget to talk about this, doing some flights with this, showing you some videos, showing you some flights, all those sorts of things. And then if you have any questions, if you would like to know something, maybe answering some beginner questions as well. We're going to be looking at DIY FPV. We're getting some amazing feedbacks and some really cool things to show you as well over there. Just generally having a good time, hanging out, talking shop, talking FPV. And then let's kick it off with the first part of the show. Someone's saying it's 5 o'clock in South Dakota. Okay. I actually thought it'd be later over in the States. I'm guessing that's in the States. Yeah, all right, let's start. The first part we always talk about is when we are going to be talking about so many cool drones. This is such an exciting time in our FPV hobby and in our technology. I've been doing this for a decade, and to be here now to actually have some access to cheap digital is going to be amazing. But the one thing that is more important than new tech coming out, and guess what, it's not old tech, it's actually you. And this is just where I take a little bit of time out of every single stream to say that you are cared about, you are valued, you special, and I'm really grateful that you are here. And if you are feeling alone or isolated, and maybe you're just like, you want to be part of something and you're just not feeling right, please go and speak to somebody. I'm just taking this time out to let you know that you are cared about, and I'm really grateful that you are here. So thank you. You are not alone. You are part of this amazing FPV community. And as a bit of a bonus, you will see on, this is something that I want to do for you guys. It's somewhere on my channel, we will be having a Christmas stream, and it would be great if you want to jump in and hang out. It is open to everybody. And the reason that I'm also doing that is because sometimes, like, I really believe in promoting positive mental health, and Christmas can be a really tough time for a lot of reasons for a lot of people. It sounds great. It's great when you get to hang out with your friends and family, and if you've got that support, but it can be extremely isolating if maybe you can't hang out with the people that you care about. maybe you're stuck at work, or maybe your family lives interstate, whatever it's going to be, I don't want you to feel alone. So on Christmas Day, I'm going to be doing a Christmas stream just to hang out with you guys. We're going to give away some prizes. Just generally have a good time because you are cared about. That's why I just want to let you know that we'll be here and you are more than welcome to turn up. If you've got other things on in your day, you're hanging out with some other people, I hope you have an amazing time. But this offer is out there to anybody who's just kicking back on Christmas and like, oh, I didn't really get a chance to hang out with people, and that can leave us some bad reflections. You are always welcome. We're going to be here. We're going to have an amazing time. Yeah, some cool prizes to give away. I've got a bunch of vendors involved, so we're going to be having an awesome time. You might even win some stuff for a bit of a Christmas bonus as well. So that's out there. It should be somewhere. To check the exact time, it's actually Boxing Day in Australia, but for most of my viewers over in the States, it'll probably be like this time on your Christmas if you're over in the States. So anyway, that's going to be there for everybody. I can't wait to see you there. And remember, you are cared about, you are valued, and I'm very grateful. And you are not alone, you are not isolated. You are cared about, and you are part of this amazing community. Rory, he just sent through $20 US. Thank you very much for that super chat there. And also, thanks for being a member because you help us do this. Remember, you guys are the most important part of FPV. It is the community. So thank you very much there, Rory. It'll be great to see you. And if I don't see you, I hope you have an amazing holiday time anyway on that day, hanging out with the people that you're around. I'm sure their day will be better because you are around them. Alrighty, thank you very much there, Matt, as well. Chris Crawford saying, I've got no AC in my office. He is absolutely melting. We got Ray in here as well saying, hey fam, hope you are all well. People checking in from New Zealand. Let's do it. Let's talk about, I'm just reading some of your chats. Let's talk about the first part of this stream. Let's kick it off with one of the brand new systems that has just dropped. This is the Aquilla 20 HD. It has the ArtLink in here. I recently did a video and I was absolutely blown away. Oh, thank you very much there, Johnny DRC. A treat for Charlie. That's the pooch we've got downstairs as well in his old age. I'll be really grateful if Charlie can see the year out, the old dog. He's been with me for a long time. He's been a great dog. So thank you very much. I will get him a little treat. Thank you for that super chat there, Johnny DRC. And thank you for always being here, Johnny. All right, this is something that I want to show you. The Aquilla 20 from BetaFPV is this drone. Let's do a bit of a screen share to show you. And we're going to go look at this, the HD kit here. And this right here is this little system. And we're looking at the price, like $360. And you might say, well, that's pretty expensive. You can get some other bind and fly kits. Yeah, absolutely. But the thing about this one, this is using a new digital system. I was hoping to, well, I've done the testing, I've done all the flying, so I'm about a week late to the party. It did get held up in customs and things like that, but we've tested it. The videos should be there somewhere on the channel, and I'll link it later if you're watching this in this. But the exciting part about this, if we have a look, and I should do a bit of an overview, is like, yeah, the drone. The drone is a plastic drone. This is our drone, okay? The radio, I think I left that downstairs because that's not terribly exciting. The exciting part about this is what is inside here, which is the ArtLink system, and they've got a bit of a video right here. Obviously, they're going to pick the best parts to showcase, and I don't even remember if my OSD looked like this from memory. I guess we'll be able to check that out. But this right here, the ArtLink system, is next level in terms of what I want for a cheap FPV system. And we're also going to talk about the pros and the cons and the limitations that happen when you're flying with this. So this currently is hooked up to this right here. So this is the other half of that system. And I'm excited about the FPV system, the ArtLink system that is in here. And what I hope will happen is that this, because we're also going to be talking about what's happening with Cadex, gets a VRX system. And because in the end of the day, we don't all want to fly with these goggles, but we do want to have access to the systems, to use those systems with the goggles and the gear that we have. That's what I am really excited about. And the thing that makes this system special, hands down, and Cadex isn't going to like me saying this, but I don't really care what they're saying. They're going to, the exciting part about this system right here, let me show you a video of this system flying around. Thank you very much there. I don't know how to pronounce that. Thank you very much, good sir, there for sending through that super chat as well. Man, it's like Christmas here on the stream. We are making cool stuff. You are part of it. Thank you very much for your support. That is how we do this. Okay, I'm getting distracted. There's too much kindness in the chat. But let me show you a video, right, about this system. And I'm just straight up telling you now, I like the ArtLink system over the Ascent system. I would choose that. If you said to me, Stu, which one would you choose to fly? I would choose the ArtLink system hands down. Now, I haven't tried the latest firmwares on the Protoss or any of the Ascent lights or any of those sorts of things, but as it stands, from the flying that I've done, there is something special that I want to show you with the ArtLink system. Now, let me find the correct video. There's a lot of videos here. I've been doing a lot of work, a lot of testing. It's been a crazy December, actually. Okay. And I'm going to show you this video. This was my first ever flight. This didn't make it into the review that you saw. But let me fly and show you this. And I want you to remember, if I go to screen share, this is a really, really cheap system. At the moment, you can only get it in the bind and fly. We will talk about that. But I just want to focus on the transmission and what this is actually like. So we're going to go for a flight here when I think I'm also in like angle mode or like self-level mode at the moment when I'm cruising this around. And the biggest difference about this is, and this is exactly what I'm seeing in the goggles, and that bobble is because it keeps self-leveling and I'm using the base remote, so don't worry about that. But flying this around, I didn't have nearly as many glitches as I had with the Ascent system. And it didn't stop, stutter, and move on. It was a much more, and the best way to describe this, and I'm sure amazing people like Mads Tech will be able to dive into this a lot more, the confidence you get with the ArtLink system far outweighed some of the other benefits from a cheap system like the Ascent. I didn't feel like I had confidence. This is the first time on a cheap system that I had confidence that it wasn't just going to drop out and I wasn't going to lose it and I wasn't going to crash my drone. There is latency, like the image quality. Again, I don't know, you let me know what this looks like. You are watching, recording, rendering on my computer, streaming through YouTube to you on whatever settings you are watching this. But the image quality from this for a cheap system is, I think it's pretty good for a base. It's never going to be as good as DJI, but it's still really, really good. But just the range, it feels like this system, the stats that we were sold, I clicked the wrong button on the remote there, so I'll see if I can show you another one, actually. The stats that we were sold on this system line up. It's like the marketing department didn't get to put extra spin and just turn the dial up a little bit. What we're actually seeing with this system feels exactly what is in the box. You'd be very happy. It's a very fair representation, I think, when they talk about what this is doing here. Now, the big advantage, this is doing 200 milliwatts. Let me show you another video. This is probably a more impressive video. This is video 4. And jumping over here, if you ever come stateside, come to South California and fly with us at Team Legit. Thank you very much. Absolutely, I would. I don't know if I'd be allowed in the country though, because you do have to go through like 5 years of social media posts and uploads if you're heading over to the States. It's a bit of a rule you guys have put on Australia, so I don't know. I would love to fly. Anyway, you are always welcome to come and fly. And also, if you ever make it over to the Australian Drone Championships, please, that will be here next year in Brisbane. That's going to be a massive event. I will be there. It is the best time I've ever had with FPV. So this is out there to anybody. Please come to that event. It was incredible. But absolutely, I would love to fly with people over in the States if I ever make it back there and they let me in. But okay, look at this for a cheap system. Remember, we're not talking about the drone. Again, the Ascent system, cruising this around, cheap VTXs. They're not Ascent, sorry, ArtLink. This is the ArtLink system. I mean, yeah, you're getting some smearing. This is where, when I'd fly the Ascent and drop behind these trees and these dirt mounds, it would be dropping out. I'm not getting any of that. I mean, we do sometimes get maybe like you can turn focus modes and those sorts of things off. There is a little bit of latency. It's not going to be for races, but it is good enough that, and here's the ultimate question. You are watching this. Is this good enough? If you said to me, Stuart, I know you love drones. If this is all you could ever fly, would you be happy? And the answer is yes. Yeah, I would be. In the same way that someone said to me, Stuart, you really enjoy playing video games, all you can have is like the PlayStation 2 library. You still want to play? Yeah, I do. It's not going to be the latest next generation Battlefield 6 or anything like that, but you can still have an amazing time. That's probably how I feel about this. The detail, it's fine. The latency, it could be better, but it's not the worst. And it also didn't feel nearly as variable as well. And I do think we go for a range test just here as well. The range, fine for the sort of flying that I want to do. There's some other limitations when we talk about channels and mapping and those sorts of things. And look, you are smearing some of this grass together, but it's good enough. This is a cheap system. So I am sold on this system for people coming into the hobby. Now, at the moment, it is all in a bind and fly. There is currently no options to get this in something else. I do have, I don't know if I might have some emails that look, you're probably going to see this somewhere else. There will be options, not just to get it in this drone right here. I don't know if I can talk about that just yet, but I would say December is a pretty exciting time. I'll let you read behind the lines, but yeah, if you're watching this, would you get this? Would you fly this cheap system around? And this is exactly the vision that I saw. And notice how it hasn't skipped anywhere. The frame rate hasn't become terrible. It hasn't become insanely blocky. Cheap, digital, and especially compared to the Cadex Ascent system, the ArtLink system that you are seeing right now, in my opinion, hand on heart, this is the one that I would be choosing. I don't know. You let me know. This is good enough for me to fly. I'm not going to fly it all the time because I'm going to fly DJI. I've got DJI gear. If I was a racer, absolutely, you're going to want to go to hdzero. They make great gear. Racers love it. I recommend them for racers. But for somebody who's getting in, this is at the point where I think this is a fine recommendation to somebody to say, hey, I want to try FPV. What will this system be like? Yes. So someone's saying Meteor 75 with the ArtLink. Gee, what's in my eye here? What did I just say? Meteor 75 with the ArtLink. Gee, that would be a nice thing. All right, that's actually how my 8-year-old daughter. I'm going to pause this. I'm getting distracted. When my 8-year-old daughter is trying to trick the 5-year-old daughter and trying to be like, yes, that is what happened. That's basically how she does that. But yeah, I guess a Meteor 75 with an ArtLink would be amazing, especially if that released in December. That would be really cool. Johnny DRC says, if I didn't have walksnail, I would definitely get it. And here's the exciting part too. These cheap systems do not make the system that you have obsolete. Put it in the chat right now what system you are flying, and I would love to know, actually, just to get a general idea of what is the system that you have. Having new systems does not diminish the quality of the flight that you have. It just means you don't have options to try those. If someone came out tomorrow with a brand new Atari console 10 million that offered a unique, different experience, it doesn't make your PlayStation or your Xbox any worse. You can still have the exact same fun with the gear. Remember, it's not about having the best gear. It's about having the best time. And the beautiful part here is I think these systems will be getting VRXs. The ArtLink system, I have an email stressing that this all-in-one package from the Aquilla 20 HD that we can see right here, that this is just the beginning, and this system is opened to a lot of vendors or manufacturers or people who want to make some products using this as a base. I am all for that because I don't want to be fragmented and locked into an ecosystem that is not compatible with others or really tries to lock us down. And to be honest, DJI is the worst out of everybody for this because they don't even give us a HDMI in. I don't think they give us HDMI in on their goggles. I don't think you can slap a VRX and feed a different feed in and use the goggles for something else. I could be wrong. I know you can get the feed out on a phone. I don't know if you can send it the other way. Someone please in the chat, let me know if I'm just telling lies here. But the DJI ecosystem really locks you in. There is no manufacturer out there that lets you use and receive a multitude of VRXs and different video frequencies. The best options that we have are to get the goggles that you like the most that have a HDMI in. And something like this here, this is, and you can sort of see it in action. So I really like these SkyZone goggles. They've got HDMI in here. So how do I use hdzero? I take my hdzero VRX and I plug it in. I think it's on this side for the camera. I plug this in, and then now my goggles can receive hdzero images. So I think whatever goggles you are going to get, make sure that they've got a HDMI input. That is the best way to future-proof yourself and give yourself cheaper access to a range of systems, so you don't need to upgrade all the time. You don't need to buy an external goggle all the time, a brand new goggle. If I have a look at these we've got USB. So like these are the goggles that come with the ArtLink system we were just talking about. No HDMI input. Again, they're a cheap pair of goggles. The beauty about this is if you can get a VRX, like I've got here for my hdzeros, I can use them on my SkyZone. So going forward, that's my recommendation for what goggles should I get. It is secondary about the system. Primarily, they've got to make sure they've got HDMI in. If we're getting all these systems, open IP, any system that comes out with an external receiver now, you want to make sure that your goggles have HDMI. Great examples, SkyZone. The Box Pros from hdzero are a great choice as well if you want to get those box style goggles. I think they're going to be very popular with these new systems. Somebody's saying the best you can do with the DJI G3s is NDLA sharing, but that requires too many latency prone parts. And that's how I fly my walksnail with my SkyZone's 04 Pros. Yes. And someone says I'm going some Kid VR glasses. I'm not sure what the latency is as well. You have to be careful. Whatever you are feeding it into, FPV goggles tend to be specifically designed to reduce latency. You don't want to have a system where you are adding a lot of latency into whatever you're going to be working with. Is the new system going to have a standalone receiver like walksnail? So that's from Fizz FPV. Do you mean this system, the ArtLink system, or are you going to be talking about the Ascent system? If you could let me know that. We got Spy Badger in the chat. He knows how special he is. What a wonderful gentleman right there. Somebody who I think fondly of. So thanks for Spy Badger. Unless I'm getting my memory crossed, but yeah, if the Danes over there, amazing people. Okay, but yeah, this system right here, I really like it. It does not have a VRX at the moment though, which we were just talking about, which brings us on to our next point, and that is the Cadex Ascent system. A lot of people are enjoying it for the price that you have to pay, a $30 VTX, but you have to have the Protos goggles. Now, I have an email that I hope I can share because I have done that. It didn't say you can't share that, so let me show you this. If I jump over here, I got an email and I posted this on DJI about some walksnail Ascent VRXs. I really don't like their naming, but check these out. So this is our first look at some of the Ascent VRXs that are coming. And this is a big deal because the Protos system, when it first released, was like people would call it a dead end system. And then we got the VTXs, so you could use that with the actual Protos goggles. But now something like this, we can plug in and put this on the front of our goggles. So I would be able to replace this little unit right here, and we would be able to put that on. Now, this one here is just called the Ascent VRX. It is a dual channel receiver. I'm going to call it, if you hear me say VRX, that just stands for video receiver. And this one can do 60 frames per second. This is what I expect is in the actual Protos goggles that came out with the kit. This is like the internals here is kind of what I expect to have on that. But that's not all. Check this out, because, and I don't know the prices on these, so I imagine they're going to have to be like this one is going to have to be pretty cheap because the Ascent system is pretty cheap anyway. I think the goggles themselves are $150. So I don't know, like $99 I think is probably what I would aim for. I know you don't get the goggles or the lens or anything that comes with this. However, you're getting access to an entire ecosystem. So the expensive part is actually the lenses and stuff inside are not the expensive part. The expensive part is actually the receiver that is inside here and everything that it's like that those are the internals that are going to cost things. So I think like I'm totally making this up, by the way, in terms of pricing. But if they say, hey, here's a VRX for $99, it has to be that cheaper price because it is a cheap system to begin with. The prices are the what is it, like $35 to get the VTX that goes with this versus let's open this in a new tab. Is it let's have a look. So if we have a look just here, the standard VRX, if you wanted to get this just for the walksnail system, this is the avatar system, not the Ascent system, that's $200. So that's actually more expensive, crazily enough, than the goggles themselves. So yeah, this one, I think it has to be like $99. Someone says I better be $150 if it has more features than the goggles. I don't think so, because I think this is this cannot be better than the goggles. They wouldn't make a receiver unit that's just a little, they'd be using this in the goggles. This is what I think is the base version. Now this is where this steps up here. We've got the Ascent VRX Pro, and this is pretty hopeful, I think, looking at what they expect the system to do in the future. This can do does it have 4 antennas? I think it's still a dual antenna system, but it can do 120 frames per second. So that might mean there's some indications on the Cadex Ascent system is looking at what we can do with latency. I don't know the prices. Again, it's good to have these options. Do we need 120 frames with the Ascent little VTX at the moment? No. This here, okay, how do I phrase this correctly? The Ascent VTX that we can currently buy for $35 is not taking any of this receiver. It's not using it to its full potential. There will be a lot of headroom, in my opinion, left over from this to what we are getting from the video receiver, which means, if we're going to sort of deduce down the lines of what that means, they must have some plans in the works of some Ascent systems that will take full advantage of this. So I find that exciting. Again, these other products are not released. These, I believe, will be releasing very, very soon, like in the immediate future. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of these. I did get emailed these from Cadex, and they were like, hey, Stu, what do you think of these? And I was, it didn't say I couldn't share them. So here we are. I got these. I got barely any information, though. It was like, here's the name and here's the frames per second. So anyway, here we are. We're talking about them. Sorry, Cadex, if this is burning some bridges right here. And then this one is also exciting. Jumping over, check this out. And I don't know what this means, but this is the Walksnail Ascent VRX Max. Now, here, this looks like a render. Do these all look like renders? Yes, this here, it has 4 antennas, and it can do 120 frames, but it had, and I wrote this down, some OST network information it was capable of. I don't know exactly what that means. From my experience, I imagine this is going to be an extremely high-end receiver that is working for, like, this isn't going to be your average VRX that normal pilots are going to use. I don't know what that means. I like the display on the back. I think it's going to be a pretty feature-packed, or it's going to offer us a lot of headroom for them to develop products. Is this going to be for the everyday FPV consumer? I think no. I think this one's going to be expensive. I think this one's probably going to be more than the price of most of our goggles, if I had to guess. Again, I have no idea about, like, you are hearing the exact information that I have. So this one is exciting in terms of what the Ascent system's capabilities will be able to do, but we are not going to use this as FPV pilots. What I would probably be looking at, if you like at what the Ascent system is doing, the VRX Pro, 120 frames per second. I think if they can work out their latency on the Ascent system, this is where it's going to be at. But if you already have a set of goggles and you just want to jump in, try Ascent, and you want to plug these in like we do with these, this is where it's at. A cheap VRX we can put on the front and then fly around with some very cheap digital systems. Why big goggles though? I don't know what you mean. They're Loco 619. Someone's saying long range, maybe cinema. I imagine this is for passing a lot of information, possibly on, I don't know, like multiple ways to really get that data across. But yeah, exciting times. And that is where I need to tell you, out of these systems, based on everything that I have seen, and Cadex won't like this part that I'm about to say, but that's neither here nor there, because I believe in you guys and giving you the right information. Until I test these VRXs, until they actually land here and we can fly around and see what they're like. In my experience, flying around with an Ascent VTX, it was great, but it had some limitations. The Cadex products, I feel, are more refined, but at the end of the day, the actual video link that I had on my Protoss, which was a very, very early firmware, so take this, like I had that for a while, testing that and figuring that out before we were allowed to make a video on it. Those early times felt unrefined in terms of the video quality, in terms of like losing it, and it did go to 100 milliwatts, which made it much better, but on 25 milliwatts, it felt, I couldn't trust it at all. When I fly around with this, in comparison, the ArtLink system, I felt this product is even more unrefined in terms of drone, in terms of goggles, in terms of the actual physical product. But the FPV system inside the ArtLink, like using the Artisan system there, it was far more robust and I felt more confident with it. So right now, as it stands, the ArtLink system, I have much more confidence. That's what I would be wanting to fly with. If ArtLink can release a VRX, Cadex is in real trouble, and it does depend on the pricing. And if Cadex can release, well, I guess it looks like they are releasing these VRXs. If Cadex releases these and they improve their robustness, if they improve, so there's two things. If Cadex improves the robustness of the walksnail Ascent system, we have a real fight on our hands. So ArtLink has a great video base. They need to refine the product. Cadex has a good product, like I guess like a better refined user experience. Not all of it, like especially the battery, but the actual everything about the Ascent system, the product, the exterior is fine. It is the video system itself. So if they improve that system, we have a real fight on our hands between these two. And I am all for that. And the best way to future-proof yourself is to think about getting goggles with HDMI in. Do not buy the Ascent cheap goggles. Do not buy the ArtLink cheap goggles because they don't have HDMI in. If you really want to future-proof yourself, buy the best goggles that you can that have HDMI, and then you can plug whatever system becomes dominant in the future that you really like. You can plug hdzero, you can plug walksnail Avatar, you can plug Ascent. You should be able to plug in the Artisan in the future. We have not heard about that. So all these systems, even Open IPC, you'll be able to plug in and use that. So my number one advice here for anybody thinking about digital FPV, choose a goggle with HDMI in. It has never been more critical. Unless you want to just waste your money. Like, I don't know. Unless you really like one system and you're like, I'm only ever going to fly this. That's it. I don't really care. Like there are some people that only want to play the Nintendo Switch and that's it. They don't care about any other system. They're just totally happy to have that. They don't want a Steam Deck. They don't want an Xbox. They just love Nintendo. If that's you and you just love, I don't know, the walksnail Avatar and you want to get the goggle cell, go for it. I'm talking about future-proofing. What I would recommend my friends and family to get is find the right goggle. Number one, it's got HDMI in. Number two, it is comfortable. you really need something that is comfortable on your face. Is that box goggles? Is that some like goggles like this? Because now it is less important than ever to care about the actual internals and more internals of like what video system it is using. It is more important to does it have HDMI in? And here's a crazy idea. I just thought of this. Please let me know. Anthony's saying, so I can use this with my HDO2s. Yes, this is what I'm saying. If your HDO2s have HDMI in, you'll be able to plug this system in, and then this will go to the front. You'll be able to fly with that. That's what we're saying. Do not buy new goggles if you have HDMI in. Buy the receiver, buy this VRX or whatever system you want to get a VRX for, not this specific one, and then you'll be able to use the goggles that you have. That's what's important. Dave is saying, I mean, with DJI, nothing else compares. I already have a good set of analog goggles with HDMI in either way. So you're set. You're set. I think DJI is probably this is one caveat too, where in stateside, it's interesting as well. This is why I suggested the Row Kid. But let's have a look at the Row Kid. This is a $500 pair of goggles. These goggles right here. Do they have, like, I don't know if I like the AR. I would find that kind of distracting as well. I don't recommend, I have not tried these, but I don't recommend these. What's the price? No way. Specs. Do we have a latency? Which is the number one thing we need to be thinking about. Refresh rate is 90 Hertz, but that doesn't mean latency. This is the problem, because our goggles are all try to minimize latency as much as possible. Picture is almost secondary, well to a point when it comes to FPV. There's no point having beautiful goggles if it's a second behind, which normally doesn't mean too much if you're watching a movie or anything. It's not too much of a problem. But from what the drone sees, fed that back to our eyes, it's really, really important. So I don't recommend those. If you are flying with them and they're great, I would love to, like, send me some links, send me some emails. I'd love to see how they go. Not my choice right now. I would stick with an FPV brand of goggle that we know. It's a dead mouse. I don't know how to pronounce that. He's saying, crazy recent event. I just flew the 04 Pro and the Goggles 3 on a military base. Not one person said anything. I would recommend that I'm going to back you up here and say, I'm really glad that you had permission to do that. And if you didn't, that's a funny hypothetical story. I like those. I'm glad that you didn't really do that. So yeah, that's probably like the worst place you can fly that if you're not allowed to. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. They are HDMI in, go down them. Yeah, no, these, I get it. These are HDMI in. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. It's not about, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if there is latency when you're wearing these goggles, you can plug these in. You absolutely probably could plug that receiver into this. Is there a latency between the two? So how long does it take to get that frame, process it, and put that in front of your eyes? That's what I mean. He's saying actually had permission. Well, then yeah, you're fine to fly that. All I can see here is the refresh rate, which isn't the whole story. And this, I would like it. Like 90 is a strange number too. Spider Sugar posted today of him using them. I think I saw that. I did watch a video. He was doing some ultimate gorilla whooping, just standing inside a mall. I did watch that video actually. So that'll be interesting to see what he thinks about that. Okay. So that is the digital part caught up. We have the ArtLink system, which you'll be seeing some more and more of this stuff coming out in the future. I like it. I like it over the Ascent system. Sorry, Cadex. I really like it. It's got a bit of work to do and refinement, but the actual base here is great. And look, a lot of that could have been because this does 200 milliwatts, where the Ascent only did 100 milliwatts power. Makes a huge difference down at, especially at this low level for digital systems. That extra 100 milliwatts made a world of difference. Going from 25 to 100 milliwatts on the Ascent system, it is like borderline unflyable to usable. So, and then going up to 200 from 100, that's why there's such a big difference here. Maybe that will change in the future with the Ascent system. And now it looks like we're getting some VRXs. Some extra options are going to be included in the future on that. I really like it. Cad Ryan says, walksnail Ascent VRX coming soon. Yeah, we were just talking about those right here. So here's some examples of them. Pretty cool. I like them. I can't wait till they're here. I can do some videos on them. I want to do some testing. I hope they send me some. I actually don't have these. These are just an email that I got. You know, Cadex, send me some. I hope it was fine that I spoke about these. But again, I care about you guys. To be honest, I don't care. I care that you have the best information and the best systems available for the right flying for you. These companies' jobs are to make products that are going to suit our needs. So we don't owe these companies anything because you guys are paying your hard-earned cash for them. They deserve to win you over with good products, good service, whatever you value. That's what you should put your decision in. My only advice over all of this whole sort of cheap FPV digital revolution that is coming, make sure the goggles that you get have inbuilt HDMI. Okay. Moving on, I guess, looking at the time, we do have, of course, DJI is going to be banned in a couple of days over in the state. When I say banned, like they're not going to get their security clearance that they need. It feels like everybody is going to operate in this gray area. I don't know how much FPV pilots truly follow the rules, I guess, in terms of hobbyists. So your gear is still going to work. I assume it's still going to work exactly the same. Don't freak out too much. It just means that any new gear that comes in the future, you're not going to be able to get. Unfortunately, the hard part though, you're still going to be starved of stock. There is still going to be like fewer and fewer DJI products in the USA market. They're going to get more and more expensive because as people crash them, as people start to realize like, oh, this is all we get, maybe they're going to start to hoard them. It's sort of been happening for the majority of this year. It's been really unfortunate for the FPV hobbyists. We're sort of the ones that got left in a bad space here. That's it. That's it for DJI in the States. Don't expect anything new for you guys to fly. Don't expect to be able to easily get stock without paying through the nose for it, even worse than we have been for the start for most of this year. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you probably for the first time in a long time on a situation where it's the states who can't get things in. Usually it's a lot of countries, like you hear complaints of like, oh, drones are banned, we can't fly them in our country. I wish we had access to that. This is one of the first times that I've seen it, like, oh, we've got a pretty unique technology that you don't get to enjoy anymore unless you've already got it. So yeah, good luck with the dinner there, Ray. Thank you very much. Will Stu bail me out of jail for flying DJI? I will write a letter of recommendation saying, oh, I don't know if this is, well, it depends what you do for it, buddy. That's probably the first one there. Happy flyer. Then this is from Scott. He is saying, what I don't get is if DJI is banned on all future equipment and currently the FCC is okay, why is the 04 not being allowed in the US? Because they don't want DJI in the States. I feel like, I don't want to get too political, but it is some, if there is legitimate security concerns, sure, but it is all about removing DJI from America. That's it. Like the product gone. They don't want it there. And that seems to be what's happening. Because if it's about security and you say, oh, this security team said it's good and now it's not good, and if nothing's changed, did the old team get something wrong? What needs to happen to them? Did the new team find extra information? Then why didn't the first team? Like, why are you actually changing it? You're exactly right. Yeah. So he's saying, why is the O4 not being allowed in the US? That's it. You just, the getting the stock into America. It's, sorry, it's not coming. I don't know. Like that's, you're asking some good questions. I just don't think you're, just follow that to a logical end. And you start to realize like, oh, maybe it's just like, we don't want this here. It doesn't matter what the reason is. We don't want that. You don't get it. You as a consumer don't get to fly around with this DJI gear in America. The rest of us, like you can still watch videos of us flying around DJI. I don't know what it's going to be like importing DJI products back if you go overseas and bring them back. I don't know what it's going to be like if you travel out of country and back in with your old gear. I don't know. This is, yeah, someone's saying whose pockets are getting filled is the only answer. Someone's saying, yeah, it's about money. Other people got some technical claims right here. It's just an avenue to deny imports. I think you're 100% correct. Oh, it's absolutely political. And actually, Madstech was talking about this morning. I often watch his stream while I'm having my brekkie. That's breakfast. And he was mentioning that also too, like, it's not just government bad. DJI would have their own way of probably, if they really cared about consumers as well, they probably could have done some things better on their actions and their things. They haven't really helped themselves too much. And they might have relied on like, oh, this isn't really fair to the consumers, only for the US to be like, man, we don't care about our consumers. We don't care about that. This is all about us and our political motives and money. This has nothing to do with the everyday Joe flying around in the park watching UAVFutures on his phone. They do not care about us. They do not have our best intentions at heart whatsoever. Tinfoil hat off. I'm just going to take my tinfoil hat off over there. The only people that are going to be paywalled are people that can't afford the black market DJI units. Yeah, and that's probably going to be quite a few. I don't think I would pay those extreme prices that I've seen them going for on Amazon for a craft that I'm going to crash in a tree and potentially break. I just cannot afford to do that. All right. Okay, these products, I did want to mention this, which was the Wisp from BetaFPV. And if you've got any questions, please let me know. And someone remind me. That really annoys me on the BetaFPV website when you go to click on something and then just before you click, a little drop down shifts it and you end up clicking on the wrong thing. I have been flying this around. Dare I say, like you guys were right, the Air 65, delicious. What a delicious quad. It is very fast. It is not insanely fast that I could not control it. Something like the newbie drone Hummingbird Race Spec Edition, whatever it's going to be. That is insane. That is absolutely ridiculous. And that is all about racing. This quad right here, we have a really happy medium. This reminds me of if you had cars, and I don't know too much about cars, but at like one end you have some hypercars. This feels like a really fast sports car that could still be competitive in its own, and it's still faster than your everyday sort of stock car that you see. This is like a low end, just a sports car. This is how I describe this. It is great to fly. It has plenty of speed for the average user, but it still felt very controllable. It didn't feel unruly or anything. A great little drone. I was flying around with this version right here. Now this looks like just a render, I think, but I have a glow in the dark version. You'll see this video coming soon. And dare I say, it feels like the perfect drone for me. I had a great time with it. I've still been flying it. It's held up pretty well. I've had a few crashes. Oh, you can't actually see this. So yeah, and a glow in the dark option. Just all about having some fun, hanging out, like sharing, getting people excited about FPV for me is a big part as well. It has some other little features that I do like, and I don't know if this is this a new addition? Can somebody who has this please tell me, is this on all the adapters, like this battery lead right here? I thought that was a really clever addition. I liked it. I mean, I wasn't like stretching and putting probably one of the places where whoops do break is when you're unplugging the batteries all the time, and often you'll rip either the connector off or rip them. It's just an awkward little, I would say it's where they break. It's a little bit awkward. This made it a lot easier. Happy Flies saying, Stu, are you ready for Christmas? Not really. Not really. I've been trying to smash out as much work and as much filming as possible. Someone's saying it's the Mustang of FPV. I would maybe even a little bit better. I probably just offended a lot of Mustang people right there. And thank you to everyone who participated in the last poll. Keep being you. I don't know, do we have a poll on here? I'm not too sure. We're trying Johnny DRC, so it's a very fun whoop. And Snoot, all the new ones have them. Okay, cool. I like it. I think I hope this is the standard adapter that we can all use. This is from Daytona Jim with a super chat as well. Cadex posted the Ascent Lite Plus on their YouTube channel, saying it will be 500 milliwatts and 100 FPS in the post section with pics. Okay, we're going to go have a look at that. Cadex. If I just type Cadex, do I actually have a channel? Filters. Channels. Drawing, design products, Cadex USA, Cadex FPV. Okay, can you do me a favor while we're waiting? Can you actually post a link to that video right here? Just been like, here, Stu, just go to DIY FPV. Hopefully you guys should all be members. It really is a game-changing website. I am going to post that for you in the chat. Or if someone else knows where that is, like please, anybody, the first person to do that, huzzah, there you go. Because that will be very interesting. Now I've got two chats. I feel like, is this chat behind? We'll find out. I'm gonna check this in just a little bit. Of course, the builder section, we just released our builder the other day. I should probably talk about this as well. We did our FPV comparison, and this is where you can compare some of these systems. I have to do some more work because now I'm going to have to add the ArtLink system in here as well. But if you ever want to know what one system looks like compared to the other, maybe you want to see the differences between analog and hdzero, come check this out. This is a really cool tool. We have another incredible tool coming. Like we've spoken about the builder a lot. There is an amazing tool coming very, very soon, which is because of you guys. Like if you're sending through a super chat, if you are a member, if you are supporting this channel, if you are a Patreon, there is like, thank you. And you will see some incredible resources coming for the community for everybody to use. Now, what I wanted to mention here about hdzero, we did have a different image right here. The community, I got a lot of messages, a lot of angry people were like, yo, this isn't right. You need to change this. I had some really base, like I tried to use the cheapest systems possible. A lot of people didn't feel like this was fair to hdzero. So this is one of their, I think it's like one of their race VTXs. I will have to double check. But that's in there now. So this isn't the one that comes with a whoop. This is not the EcoCam setup. That's what this is. So yeah, now we've changed hdzero because contrary to what some people believe, I wish hdzero all the best. I think they make great products. I think they have done so much for racing, always trying to improve their products and bring new things to market. So yeah, shout out to hdzero. That's been changed for them to give what the community thinks, or what some people in the hdzero community thinks, gives a better representation on what they expect. And I also haven't stretched the image. I've kept it in the exact whatever it is, I don't know what you call it, like the ratio as well. It has not been filled out for the entire screen. So yeah, but go check this website out. It's awesome. Okay, let's see. Do we have some discussions? Who's going to be the first person to post this here and let me know what I see in hdzero is the one you just updated. Yeah, it should be live now. It should be live now. Or if you can send me a Discord message. I want to find this Cadex FPV thing. Cadex Ascent Plus. We'll change the filter to be, we're going to have a video. And we're going to have it to today. No, I can't see it. While we're waiting for somebody, please, if you can find any information that, unless this is just someone sending me on a wild goose chase. Who said this? Oh, it was, sorry, I'm skipping straight past the super chat here. It was a Cadex posted the Ascent Lite Plus. Ascent Lite Plus. And was this today? If you've just tuned in, this is the most exciting FPV stream where this is actually what I spend a lot of my day trying to track down and chase these rumors. It's just someone trying to sell me something. Thank you, Stu, for making awesome FPV videos. It is absolutely my pleasure. Like, this is what we do this for, to help people get flying, to just give them the right information. And you know what? I'll give a bit of brutal honesty here. I don't care what system you fly. I don't care what drone you fly. Like, that's up to you. That has no effect on my life. What I truly care about is that you fly the right system for you. I want you to have an amazing time because I care about you. I do. I want you to just enjoy FPV as much as I do. I know that FPV changed my life in such a positive way. And the reason that I work so hard and make so many like videos and resources and put all my energy into giving people like tools and information so you can make the right choices. It's not about having the best gear. It's about having the best time. And you will have the best time when you have like great information to make those choices and be like, do I want this? Do I want that? Do I want HDMI in? Yes, you do nowadays. Do I want to go digital? Do I want to go analog? Am I going to go ELRS? All those things, it is for you. I care about you. I don't care what system you fly. I care that you have a good time. And anybody who just sits around and says, oh, like looks down on people for flying one system over another, I have no time for them. Just worry about, those people can just worry about themselves, please. You need to just do what you want to do. It's your money. It's your life. You deserve to have a great time flying around. FPV is going to make it so much better. We have an amazing community. Like, you can tell I'm getting pumped up and amped and excited. Go check it out. All right, now I'm just going to double check that in case that message that came through was sometimes I actually get some messages about this while I'm on the stream. And it's from my wife saying, we're at the library. Okay. It's pics, not a video. It's in the post section of Cadex FPV channel. Cadex FPV. And we're going to look at channels. Okay, we might have found this here. And we go to posts. All right, here's what we're talking about. Thank you for sticking with me. This is the Ascent Lite Plus coming. Guess the price in the comments. Let's have a look right here. A 500 milliwatt. Oh, this says walksnail. Man, their naming drives me crazy. So this is walksnail avatar. I mean, walksnail Ascent, not walksnail. I wish they just got rid of the walksnail name. Or they should have just called one system Avatar, and they should have just called this system Ascent. What is the Cadex Walks? I digress. Okay, 500 milliwatts. What are we looking at? We've got Strike Fast, Ascent Lite Plus, 100 FPS, and 500 milliwatts. Oh, it's the same picture, just with two of these. This is going to make use of the VRXs we were just looking at. So something like this. It says guess the price. What do they say here? Work with my Goggle X Avatar HD. If not, I don't care. That's what other people. What about my Goggles X? Cadex make a VRX to mount to the front of the goggles. Let's see, what are they saying? Yes, it is time to do that. I wondered, like, the people who bought, I don't have any, like, the Cadex system has been around for a while. The upgrading system is annoying. But if, like, Nintendo made a Nintendo Switch 2 game that doesn't run on the Nintendo Switch 1, I can understand that those two systems need to be separate. There's limitations from one system to the other. The part where Cadex really dropped the ball is their marketing team spoke all about upgrading. And if you bought those goggles specifically, and the reason that was like, I'm going to choose this one is because I want to upgrade the internal board to be able to do the new systems, I would be upset. It is lucky that they are doing VRXs to add in here, I guess, but it's all external. That's not the same as popping out a board that's in the middle and doing that. And I don't know if this is actually an upgrade to the walksnail system either. Currently, I would still choose walksnail Avatar over walksnail Ascent. We will see. We'll see what these are like. And before the Ascent, I would still choose the ArtLink system. So I don't know. Let's see. VRX was 120 FPS, and that says 100 FPS for the text. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But that's fine. It's great to have that extra headroom. It wouldn't make sense to have it the other way around. Maybe there's some extra modes that squeezes. There might be a firmware update that can change some things. I don't know. But as long as the base receiver unit has a higher ceiling cap than the VTX, no issues whatsoever. Did they put any comments here? Other people just guessing the price? Okay, I'm going to have a guess. We have 100 FPS, 500 milliwatt system. The current one is $35. They are going to have a standard price in all my UAVFutures wisdom. $54.95 or $54.90, like 55 US dollars. I want to say $49.99 sounds really good. I think they'll squeeze out a little bit more and say, oh, let's make this one just a little bit more, like those $4, and we'll think if we sell those 4 units. So yeah, there's my price. We'll put it here for. That's for camera VTX antenna. We'll see. What do you think this will be? Someone says, I think it will be $49.99. Someone else saying $70. We will see. I don't know when this releases as well. I don't have any information from this. Oh, this is 3 days ago. It's so strange. Cadex's marketing is so bizarre. And then I will get a random email that's like, hey Stu, what do you think about this? And it's like these. You're like, okay. Cool. Can we talk about these, or what's the deal? I hope we can. Otherwise, I've just opened a can of worms again. But anyway, I digress. Now, finally, thank you so much to everybody who is here. As a bit of a recap, what system would you get? Put this in the chat right now. Would you get, if you were going to jump in today, what is the system that you're going to buy? What goggles would you buy? I have to say that the ArtLink, I am very impressed. I can't wait to see what that does in the future. I am really excited now that we have some VRXs to check out. Having a look at these so we can try the Ascent systems on our old goggles as well if you want cheap VTXs. And then, yeah, sorry to DJI with what's going to be happening. We got some cool products coming from BetaFPV as well with the ArtLink system. And look, I didn't say that it's going to be in the Meteor 75. Why is my eye twitching? We'll have to see. Maybe some more leaks here. Some people do call me Leaky Stew there ever since that incident with the box goggles pros. And yeah, actually, because you guys are important, I do care about you, and I want to take the time here. Over on, there was one under beginner questions. I would just like to talk to this user here. we had a post about, they're basically new, and I think they said they got the DJI goggles 3, they came with the kit, blah, 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 and he's considering the the DJI O4. I will post a link to this part for this user, but yeah, whatever your name is here, Expert Graphics, my recommendation, use the DJI goggles with an O4. It says you've got a Lumineer 4 frame. Go and buy something like the Radio Master Pocket. I'll link that as well. Great little entry. Use that system. It's ELRS. Don't use the DJI controller or anything. If you're serious about FPV, jump over to the ELRS ecosystem. It's not terribly expensive. You already have, like, if you're in the States, almost over $1,000 worth of gear in terms of goggles and frame and the O4 Pro. Do yourself a favor, jump over to ELRS, or maybe you want to go to TBS, go check that out. That's what I recommend. I live in the US, so I'll need a remote ID, and he came across this other option. So again, I'm going to see what the chat says here. Would you, if you're in the States, put remote ID on your quad? My advice here legally is to always follow local rules, laws, and regulations, and check with your local flying clubs. And as a general overview, just don't annoy people, don't fly near people. Like, if you go out into the woods and fly around and you're still doing all the right things, who's going to be there to check on you to make sure that you are doing those right things? Okay. Cadex marketing is very weird. Announcing stuff months before release. It makes users annoyed when they hear nothing for months after saying it's coming. Yeah, the Cadex marketing team is interesting. I think actually some people, like, they've like culled a lot of those people. They didn't like what was happening. From what I've heard behind the scenes, they've sort of done a reshuffle of how they do their marketing. Someone's saying hdzero, I fly whoops 99% of the time. Yeah, that's true. Think about what sort of flying you like to do and maybe base your primary goggle on that system. Put RAD on a battery strap and swap it across your craft. That's from Mup Shot. And Jim is saying no remote ID for him. Oh. Okay, the final thing that I would like to mention here is... Oh, that's right, I forgot about this important part. Okay. Probably the most important part of this whole stream. I just want to say that you are important. You are cared about. You are not alone. You are valued. And I'm really grateful that you are here. Even if you're watching this and you're feeling alone or isolated, I would like to let you know that I'm really grateful that you are part of this community. Thank you for watching this stream. If you feel like you're not yourself, please go and speak to somebody about it. Mental health is real. Looking after yourself is real. And for a lot of people, Christmas can be not the greatest place. If you are struggling this Christmas, if you can't make it to see friends or family, and you know, a lot of people feel very, very isolated on Christmas because so many people talk about the joys of spending time with other people, it can be really hard for anybody who is in that isolated situation. It feels like they don't have people to talk to. I would like to say that I care about you. You are not alone. And as a bonus, what is going to be happening to let you know that I do care for you, and it is real, it truly is real, is that this Christmas, there will be a special Christmas stream for you guys. I'll be taking some time here, sitting down to connect with you guys. We're going to be having some fun. We're going to be giving away some amazing prizes. We're just going to be talking FPV. We might play some games. Maybe I'll play like some Sims. We'll just be hanging out. We'll be doing a bit of a Christmas stream to let you know that I am here for you. I would love to have you here hanging out because you are cared about and you are part of this community and you are not alone. So I'm just putting that out there. Maybe you've got stuff on for other people. That's not who this is for. If you are hearing this and you're like, man, I might check into that stream, thank you. I'll be here and I can't wait to see you. And we're gonna have an awesome time. We got some cool prizes. Like, we got radios to give away. We've got our amazing sponsor, Central Coast Coffee, like Phaser FPV. Go check out Central Coast Coffee. They do some amazing stuff as well. Like, it's just going to be an awesome time. So we're going to be here hanging out, having a good time because you are important. You are, yes, you hearing this right now from this random Aussie on the other side of the planet, sending this message in here digitally. It's bouncing into your eardrums, into your brain, and you're kind of thinking about it and you're like, he's still talking about this? He can't possibly be talking about me. I am. I am telling you, you are cared about. I care about you. I do. All right. You guys are amazing. I can't wait to see you in the next couple of days. I'll see you at that Christmas stream, wherever it is. I'm going to link it down below. It's also on my channel. You can go click it. Like the live button is already there. You can say, hey, notify me on YouTube. I want to stop in. Maybe you want to win some prizes. Yeah, we're going to be having a great time. I got some videos to smash out very, very soon. It's about 1 billion degrees right here. Go check out DIY FPV. Go check out the builder section. Like, you know, this is amazing, and the team behind this as well. Ernest, Toms, you've done such an amazing, like the DIY, I can't even see what I'm showing. The DIY FPV team, being able to wire up, build drones, and then Matisse, what we have coming soon, it is incredible. The tools that we are making for the community on DIY FPV are next level, and we can't wait to see you over there enjoying it. You can go see the map. You can connect with other pilots as well. Like, you know, go have a look at the map here. If you're like, man, I might go for a fly. Is there anybody in my local area that I want to fly with? Yeah, there probably is with the amount of pilots that are on here. So go check that out as well. You are cared about. I will see you all, as a good friend used to say, I'll see you in the morrow. I think he meant tomorrow, but you know, he went to public school. All right, happy flying. By the way, I went to public school too. That was just a little dig.